the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Philippine and U.S. Army successfully conduct Salaknib drills in Cagayan Valley. 10th ID declares its jurisdiction free of active NPA fighters. President Marcos confident that 20 peso per kilogram rice will be sustainable without government subsidy. NCR and other 3 regions face acute classroom shortage.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today's Thursday, June 19, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Ralph Susan Abay, here to bring you today's story.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Philippine Army and United States Army Pacific successfully conducted joint training drills under Salaknib Phase 2 in Cagayan Valley from June 16 to June 19, 2025. The exercises featured coordinated land, air, and sea operations, including ground convoys, military free fall jumps, and fast rope insertion and extraction system drills. Tank units were also deployed to Port Irene in Cagayan using U.S. Navy landing craft. The training strengthened both forces' readiness and aligned with the Philippine Army's drive for mobile, agile, and responsive defense capabilities.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army's 10th Infantry Division has declared its entire area of responsibility free of active New People's Army combatants following the June 13 arrest of the last members of the Southern Mindanao Regional Committee in Agusan del Sur. 10th ID Public Affairs Chief Major Ruben Gadot announced the dismantling of all 16 guerrilla fronts previously operating in the region, marking a major milestone in the government's counter-insurgency efforts. The successful joint military police operation captured key NPA leaders, including the Jaguar Platoon Secretary, medical officer, and vice commander, effectively ending their operations in southern Mindanao. The Army credited the achievement to sustained military operations, community support, and whole-of-nation cooperation, vowing continued vigilance to maintain peace across regions 11, 10, 12, and 13.
Armed Forces Radio.
Now some information from GEO about ROTC leaders present training outputs to 5th ID, 2nd RCDG commanders.
Charlie Snappy Company presented the results of a 3-day ROTC Administrators Seminar Workshop to Major General Signeres of the 5th Infantry Division, Colonel Mama of the 2nd Regional Community Defense Group, and ISU President Dr. Batang. The workshop aimed to enhance leadership and instructional skills of ROTC administrators. Participants showcased innovative modules, training frameworks, and cadet engagement strategies. Major General Signeres and Colonel Mamao lauded the team's professionalism, affirming AFP's commitment to strengthening ROTC programs in support of youth development and national service. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
4 New People's Army members surrendered to authorities in Masbate, Camarines Sur, and Sorsogon, according to Police Regional Office 5. Alias JJ and Rob surrendered separately in Masbate, both linked to the Bicol Regional Party Committee, and handed over firearms and ammunition. In Camarines Sur, Jane turned in a .45 pistol, while in Sorsogon, Nilo surrendered a .38 revolver. All 4 are undergoing debriefing and will be enrolled in the government's Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program. Pero 5 Director Brigadier General Andre Dizon urged the remaining rebels to lay down their arms and reintegrate into society, assuring support through livelihood and reintegration programs.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Troops from the 12th Infantry Battalion and 62nd Special Action Company recovered a firearm, ammunition, and rebel supplies in an abandoned New People's Army camp in Barangay Lahug, Tapas, Capiz. Soldiers found CPP flags, backpacks, a hammock, medical paraphernalia, and personal items left behind. Major General Michael Samson of the 3rd Infantry Division credited residents' vigilance and vowed to continue neutralizing the remaining NPA elements to ensure the lasting peace in Western Visayas.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about 903rd Infantry Brigade joins second quarter PPOC meeting in Sorsogon.
Yes, good afternoon. The 903rd Infantry Brigade actively participated in the second quarter Provincial Peace and Order Council meeting of Sorsogon Province held on June 16, 2025 at the SPDRRMO building, Capital Compound, Barangay Borabod, Sorsogon City. The meeting gathered key security forces, local government units, and selected national agencies including Philippine Army, PNP, and Coast Guard to assess the province's current peace and order situation and discuss strategic actions moving forward. This quarterly gathering plays a vital role in strengthening the synergy between the military, law enforcement, and civilian agencies. It serves as a platform for unified decision-making, enabling all sectors to align efforts in addressing criminality, insurgency, and other security challenges that affect community safety and development. The presence of 903rd Infantry Brigade reaffirms the Philippine Army's commitment to supporting the local government's peace and security agenda. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And over 30 former Moro Islamic Liberation Front members submitted their amnesty applications during a caravan held at Camp Bilal in Munay, Lanao del Norte. The Department of the Interior and Local Government Region 10 led the activity with support from Pakig Dait Incorporated, the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity, and other agencies. The initiative aims to support the former combatants in securing amnesty under Proclamation Number 405 and Executive Order Number 47 signed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Bangsamoro Parliament member Abdullah Makapaar emphasized the program's importance in helping ex-fighters reintegrate peacefully into society.
DWDD National News.
And for our national news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. expressed confidence that his administration could sustain the implementation of the 20 peso per kilo rice program without the need for government subsidies. The president said the government is providing a rice supply sufficient for 51% of the population. He explained that since the country's production is already going up, the cost of production will go down. PBBM is also confident that the country will breach the recorded palay yield in 2023 and 2024, which is at 19.09 million metric tons.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our reporter on the ground, let us hear the report of Ferdy about fleet leaders visit Tradoc to boost inter-service collaboration.
Good day everyone. Philippine Fleet senior enlisted leaders visited the Training and Doctrine Command Tradoc Philippine Army at Camp O'Donnell Capas Tarlac to strengthen inter-service cooperation. Command Master Chief Petty Officer Samuel Analdo met with Tradoc Commander Major General Danilo Benavides and discussed training systems, doctrine development, and strategies to enhance enlisted personnel development. The delegation also engaged with students of SMC Class 16-25, conducted a tree planting activity, and a joint fun shoot to promote camaraderie. The visit reinforced both units' commitment to unity, capability development, and a stronger, more cohesive armed forces. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
DWDD National News.
Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Soc-Sargen, and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao face severe challenges from classroom shortages and aging school buildings. This is based on joint study by the Second Congressional Commission for Education and the Philippine Institute of Development Studies. In NCR, as much as 90% of public elementary school students in the Northern District were enrolled in congested schools with a ratio of 50 students per classroom. In the Southern District, 76.8% of students were in similarly crowded classrooms. Congestion was also above average in the provinces of Rizal and Cavite.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said he would leave it up to Congress to decide whether or not to abolish the K-12 system of education. Marcos said that K-12 is costing parents more because of the additional 2 more years. He also lamented that there was no improvement and graduates still can't find jobs. While there have been mounting calls to abolish the program, the president said that the Department of Education must push for improvement, particularly in the graduates' chances of finding employment while the K-12 system is still in place.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about DND's Task Force Balikloo visits and inspects PCG's halfway house.
The Task Force Balikloob of the Department of National Defense visited the halfway house of the provincial government of Cagayan located at the sub-capital in Bangag, Lalo on June 17, 2025. The group's objective was to inspect the facility according to the standards set under the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program or ECLIP. Through ECLIP, the government aims to strengthen its partnership with local governments in providing services for the rehabilitation of former rebels. The halfway house, managed by the Provincial Social Welfare and Development Office, serve as a temporary shelter for former rebels who have returned to the government, preparing them for a new life. According to Nathaniel E. Cariaga, center manager of the halfway house, the former rebels undergo continuous rehabilitation through psychosocial support, livelihood training, and other services to help them reintegrate into society. Assistant PSWD Officer Bonifacio U. Cuarteros and focal person Elvira Layos expressed gratitude to the Task Force Balikloob for their visit and continued support for the province peace and rehabilitation programs. The halfway house aimed at strengthening government services for former rebels and achieving lasting peace in the province, which was recently declared insurgency-free. This is John Salak reporting for AFP Community News 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne of NOLCOM.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, about 150 Filipinos in Israel have asked to be repatriated to the Philippines amid continued airstrikes from Iran. But the Philippine Embassy in Tel Aviv said that so far, only 26 have confirmed their intention to leave and are being processed. There are over 30,700 Filipinos in Israel who are mostly caregivers. The rest work in hotels. The embassy added that 49 Filipinos lost their homes due to the missile attacks and are being housed in temporary shelters.
DWDD National News.
Relatedly, 21 stranded Philippine government officials safely crossed into Jordan from Israel amid its escalating conflict with Iran. The Department of Foreign Affairs said that of this number, 17 officials attended agricultural technology training. DFA said the Philippine Embassy in Tel Aviv actively coordinated with the Philippine Embassy in Jordan, relevant authorities, and made the necessary representations with the Israeli government in support of this mission. It also added that Amman Philippine diplomats made formal representations to Jordan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and expatriates and the Jordanian border security to secure entry clearance for the officials.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Gina about Philippine-Brunei Army's boost ties in 6th Bluefield Working Group meeting.
Of the Philippine Army and Royal Brunei Land Forces strengthened military cooperation during the 6th Bluefield Army Working Group meeting held at Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. Philippine Army Colonel Benjamin Leander and Brunei's Lieutenant Colonel Mohammad Fakaruddin Suraide led the meeting, which reviewed past joint activities and planned future bilateral initiatives. Both sides exchanged best practices in intelligence, infantry operations, fire support, and joint training. They also reaffirmed their commitment to regional security and interoperability. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is set to fly to Osaka, Japan, to attend the World Expo 2025 and several business meetings. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba had invited Marcos to attend the World Expo, which will run from April to October. Ishiba said the Filipino pavilion is becoming a popular destination for visitors. He also mentioned that the last time Osaka had hosted the expo was in 1970, when both he and Marcos were still young. Marcos, for his part, had congratulated Japan on the successful opening of the Expo 2025 Osaka.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. defended his decision to appoint General Nicolas Torres III as Philippine National Police. Marcos said that statistics are telling that the crime rate is down and drug seizures are up. But that's not enough, and people should feel comfortable to walk in the night around their neighborhoods so that they can send their child to the sari-sari store. He is confident that Torres is effective at that.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Siya. AFP honors Veterans Federation 65th anniversary with solemn ceremony.
Yes, Rolf. The Armed Forces of the Philippines joined the 65th founding anniversary of the Veterans Federation of the Philippines in solemn ceremony held at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Department of National Defense Undersecretary Ireneo C. Espino led the event as a guest of honor alongside AFP Vice Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Jimmy D. Larida and other military and veteran leaders. Founded in 1960, the VFP continues to champion veteran welfare and national service. The AFP reaffirmed its commitment to honoring veterans' legacy and serving the nation with integrity. This is Shaina Araneta reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shaina.
DWDD National News.
Local shipping stakeholders are asking the Maritime Industry Authority to ease the manning regulations for domestic seafarers. This came amid the concerns that the lack of qualified seafarers may eventually affect local sea travels. Philippine Coastwise Shipping Association Incorporated Chairperson Lucio Lim Jr. said the problem of crew shortage continues to persist among shipping companies. He mentioned that the problem also led to vessels remaining docked due to the lack of qualified domestic seafarers.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Justice announced that it has found sufficient evidence to indict a Chinese identified as Gong Wenli, also known as Kelly, for the kidnapped slave of Chinese-Filipino businessman Anson Q. The resolution comes after the DOJ completed its preliminary investigation into the March 29 abduction and killing of Q. Justice officials said that the resolution directed the filing of two separate charges of kidnapping for ransom with homicide against Gong. Meanwhile, Qzon has been cleared of any wrongdoing due to lack of evidence linking him to the crime.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Mike about Army engineers conduct school repairs in Bicol for Brigada Escuela.
Personnel from Philippine Army's 56th Engineer Battalion, 51st Engineer Brigade, supported the Department of Education's Brigada Escuela by conducting school cleanup and repair activities. Troops assisted Arimbay High School in Legazpi City, Kawayan High School in Manito, Albay, and Anabua High School in Camarines Sur. Activities included classroom cleaning, repainting, minor carpentry repairs, and clearing of school grounds. The initiative reflects the Army's continued commitment to community service and its vital role in promoting safe and conducive learning environments for students. This is Mike reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mike.
Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Meljoy of 1st CRG about Army 71st IB participates in Sabak 2025.
Yes, ROF, the 71st Infantry Kaibigan Battalion, Philippine Army, successfully participated in the Salaknib and Balikatan Exercises 2025 held at Fort Ramon, Magsaysay, Nueva Ecija from March to June 2025. Sabak 2025 primarily aims to strengthen the land defense capabilities of the Philippine Army through joint and combined exercises with the United States Army Pacific. As part of this initiative, the 71st Infantry Battalion served as a key training participants, gaining valuable experience and enhancing interoperability with allied forces. During the first phase of Salaknib, the battalion actively engaged in the subject matter expert exchanges, which focus on various topics such as warfighting functions, mission planning, and tactical combat casualty care. On the other hand, the battalion also participated in the rigorous jungle operations training course and convoy operation training as part of the Balikatan 2025 exercise, wherein selected Kaibigan troopers were tested on specific objectives such as tactical movement, combat swimming, survival skills, and convoy security operations. The second phase of the Salaknib, known as the Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center Exportable, saw the battalion conduct combined mission planning, followed by simulated battle periods where both battalions executed defensive and offensive combined arm operations, putting onto test their interoperability skills and honing their combined operational capabilities. The successful participation of the 71st Infantry Battalion in Sabak 2025 underscores the Philippine Army's unwavering commitment to continuous improvement and regional security cooperation, and the battalion's steadfast commitment and readiness in defending the nation against all threats. This is Meljoy Arok reporting for AFP Community News, 1AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of 1st CRG.
DWDD National News.
San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora made public the final preparations and amended guidelines for the 2025 Wata Wata Festival. The City Ordinance 14 has set designated basaan or water drenching zones as well as time restrictions for the activity. Zamora said that water drenching activities would be allowed only from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. and only within the designated zones. The local executive reminds the public that if they want to join the festivities, they should follow the rules.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the WWD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rolf Suzunabay for AFP Community News, 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.